What's up, everybody? Just doing a little cleanup here. Getting ready. So, tonight we are answering your questions. So I hope you got them ready, because that's what we're doing. I can click on the right stuff here. My goodness. There we go. Now, sorry about that. What's up, Miss Kaylin? So, tonight, answering your questions. And I am excited about it. I'm a little nervous, got to be honest, but I'm very excited about it. So, I'm doing these to help people. I'm doing these because I like to help people. I'm doing these because helping people is what I get the most enjoyment from. Advertising, marketing, consulting, career coaching, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'll do. So typically, there's 3 ways to contact me. Facebook Messenger, bobbyshirley.com/advice. There's a contact form there. Or you can leave me a voicemail, 256-978-9757. But tonight, you're going to comment below so that I can answer your questions. So, as those come in, I will try to answer them. If I miss the one, share it again, post it in there again, because I do want to try to get to it. If for some reason I miss it tonight, I will try to answer them in a future Ask Bobby Facebook Live. I gotta get some water. Very professional, I'm sure. But, so I've been thinking a lot about just kind of on the same topic we've been talking about the past couple of weeks, just kind of fear and how fear can literally paralyze you. And so doing questions live, answering them live, has been something I've wanted to do, but it's also something I've been a little bit afraid of. Because whenever you message me on Facebook or email or whatever, it gives me a little time to think about my answer, a little more thought out. It's a little more put together. But this way is a little more off the cuff, which is kind of how I see it if you were sitting down in my living room and asking my thoughts on something. So that's exciting and that's fun. But so as you get your questions, as you think of something, just go ahead and comment below and I will start trying to answer those. Hey, Micah, thanks for joining in. I reached out to several people today just to see if they had plans on Thursday evenings at 8 o'clock. May not necessarily be the best time, but it is the time we have. My kids are in bed, and so it just kind of works. So in thinking about it, I do have some ideas. There's my father joining in. So if you did not see it today, I posted a new blog on my site, bobbyshirley.com, and it's called How to Wonder into the Life of Your Dreams. Not wonder as in W-A-N-D-R, but wonder as in W-O-N-D-R. All right. Kaylin, when starting an online business, how important is it to get your ducks in a row with legal/tax status, business licenses, etc.? In the past, I've thrown out my business ideas to the world without getting a tax ID, etc. Well, so the way I understand it, now I'm going to put a big blanket statement here. The advice I give is my own. I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. I am not a tax attorney. I'm none of those things. I'm Bobby Shirley. But these are my ideas and these are the information I have. So, can you operate a business without a license, like without a legal tax status? Well, yes, you can. But the best way to do that is to have a separate checking account that all the money from the revenue of that business goes into, and you do not touch it. It can be under your personal Social Security number, but it would be a DBA business checking account. So it'd be Kaylin Moore, DBA, My Awesome Company. And all the money from that business would go in there. And then depending on how much you make, you will have to file quarterly tax estimates. So like basically a quarter of whatever you make for that quarter goes to the government. And that's just because of the way tax laws are. But yes, you can. So if you wanted to have myawesomejournal.com and you're going to be selling your journals, go for it. But I would go ahead and set up a separate checking account that all the money from the sale of that website gets dumped into. So, but if you want to, there's an easy way to get an EIN, which is an employee identification number, which is just another number you can use instead of your Social Security number. You can just Google it because it depends on, it varies state by state, but usually they're free or like $25 for life. I had one several years ago when I first started my computer repair business. But you can do one of those, but you are okay unless your company just blows up and you're selling like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of whatever it is you make or whatever service it is you offer. Unless you're doing that, you don't have to have like an LLC or an S corp or a corporation status. You can do it with your Social Security number. So I hope that answers your question, or at least gives you an idea of where to start. Yeah, that makes sense. It's hard to know the line when a business is so small and personal. Sure. And when it's small and personal, it's just that. It's small and personal. It's you. So don't worry too much about it because you can do it with your Social Security number and the government's not going to come after you unless you don't pay your taxes. So that's the biggest part of operating a business on a small scale is making sure you have the money for your taxes, and those are supposed to be paid every quarter. So hope that helps. Victoria, how can I be passionate about a job that isn't something I'm passionate about? I'm about to start as a bank teller, but my ultimate passion is to be a nurse. So how do I drive myself to have passion for that career in this new and exciting season I'm in, even if it isn't my ultimate goal? Well, congratulations on your job. I too am in banking, but in IT, not necessarily teller. But so when I was younger, I worked at McDonald's, also worked at Subway. That was not something I was passionate about. I had fun doing it. I liked the people I worked with and I enjoyed what I did, but it was not something I was passionate about. It's not like I'm going to grow up and work in food service the entire rest of my life. For a while, I worked in retail. I was like stocking, and I enjoyed it, like the people I was around, but it's not something I want to do the rest of my life. So the way I became passionate about it is I found the things in the job that I knew would carry over. So I love people. So in those jobs, I made sure that I was nice and pleasant as much as possible on my best days to the people around me and the customers. So if you're starting as a bank teller and then, you're about to go to, or your ultimate goal is to be a nurse, you're going to be dealing with people. And not all the people are going to be nice. So you've got to learn how to love people where they are, when they are. So honestly, I'm not sure there's any other real correlation between bank teller and nurse. Other than the people factor. So my personality, if I was in your situation, I'm going to answer this kind of how Dave Ramsey does. If I woke up in your situation and I wanted to be a nurse, but I was going to be a bank teller for a while, what I would do is learn as much as I could about banks and banking and how to serve people the best when they come to my teller window or my drive-through window or whatever. And in doing that, learning how to serve well is going to carry you through any type of job you have, whether it's banking, nursing, online consulting, IT, garbage collection, any of that. Serving people should be the highest goal we have. And so then that should be what you strive for. So if you're going to be a nurse, you're going to be serving people that are hurt or sick. Those are people that need service the most. So what I would do is learn how to serve. So, and doing that in a job that you're not like super passionate about is going to be like ground floor, hit the ground running type learning. So I hope that helps. But that's what I would do is I would learn how to serve well and look for the little joys. So I love starting new stuff. And so enjoy starting, enjoy learning how to make change. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy learning how to make deposits and withdrawals and all that kind of stuff. And because it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting because it's new. And then once that wears off, learn how to serve. So, Robert Shirley, my father, says, I'm thinking of writing a blog. How do I get started? And how would a blog make money? I love this question. So I love this question, not just because you're my dad and I think you'd be great at writing, but also, hey, Garrick, but because I love blogging. So how to start? Well, there's multiple ways. The main service I use for blogging is WordPress. So you can do WordPress.com, and that is a free blogging website, and that would give you like Robert Shirley's awesome blog.wordpress.com. And you can start there. It's free, it's easy to set up, and you can just start. Just open up the editor window and just get going writing. That's the easiest place to start, and it's free. So if you want to do something later on as your blog grows and you get a following and things like that, if you want to move to something a little more customizable, you can do what's called WordPress.org, which is their self-hosted option. And so what that does is you download the WordPress software, install it on a web server. So you have to have some type of web hosting, which is a monthly fee. That gets installed, it gets set up, and then it's pretty much the same interface as what you have with the free version. But there's a lot more options you can do. There's more plugins and things like that that you don't necessarily need starting out. So I would start with WordPress.com. That's free. It gets you going. You can start tonight and have a blog written to post in the morning. So it's very, very simple. But a blog typically makes money two ways: ads and visits. So, which it all really ties into ads. So really ads or sponsorships are really the two ways blogs make money. So you can, there's different services. Google actually has one, it's called AdSense, where you can sign up and then you can post ads on your website. You can pick the topics. So if you don't want like online gambling, you can have, I know you're involved in church ministry, but you can do like online ministry. So you could have different stuff that pertains to Christian ministry and things like that as ads on your blog. Now you cannot do that on WordPress.com, but once you move on, you can. But if you want to do like sponsored posts, or if you wanted to do work with a company that, say you're wanting to write a review for someone that does like choir robe sales, they would sponsor you and say, okay, we'll work it out. I'll pay you $100 to write a blog post on choir robes. So that's the two main ways blogs make money: ads and sponsored posts. There's other ways to make money in the blogging sphere, but those are the two main ways. So I hope that gives you an idea. So WordPress.com, get started now. All right. Michael Wally, in a technology/video driven culture, how does someone who is absolutely uncomfortable in front of a camera and hates to promote themselves learn to communicate and make an impact through video/social media? Asking for a friend. So that's kind of where I've been, honestly. But I'm not absolutely uncomfortable in front of a camera, but it is a learning curve for me. Now, I'll sit and talk to a room full of people all day long, but talking to this little green light right here is a little uncomfortable. Even though I know people are watching, it's great, but it can be a little unnerving. So you just got to start. You just have to push record, or you just have to push go live. And the thing for me is, so I put together a resource that is 3 steps to gaining clarity. It's just a PDF that kind of helps you get a grip on what it is you want to do with your life. And so it's a free resource, but in some ways I kind of have to sell that to people. So promoting that kind of stuff is a little uncomfortable to me. But the thing I'm having to get over is this. I truly believe that the revelation I have on that, on gaining clarity, has helped me. So therefore, I know if it's helped me, it can help other people. So don't promote you, promote what you've learned. So I know you're an accomplished worship leader. You've been in ministry for years and years, and you're very talented. So don't promote like, buy my new CD. Promote, here's some things I've learned in all my years of leading worship. Here's 3 things I've learned by failing at leading a team. Here's the worst mistakes I've ever made on stage during worship. You know, things like that. Like, don't promote Micah Wally and his way awesome skills and talent. Promote the things Micah Wally's learned in his time, the things Micah Wally has revelation on. And then for me, at least, it kind of softens the blow of being salesy, because I don't want to be salesy, but I do believe in the information I have. I do believe in my message. And because of that, I do want to promote it. So that's where I would start. So push record, go live, make a Facebook post, make an Instagram post, Twitter if you want to. If you want to get on Google Plus, go for it. Just put the information out there and just kind of step over that little barrier you've put in place, because I've done the same thing. So I hope that helps, because I've kind of been there as well. Hey, Kristen. Ooh, okay. So what is the best way with an online business to make yourself look attractive to buyers and set yourself apart? So when you say, sorry, Dustin Bilkington, what are the rules for spastic ball? So Kristen, I'll come right back. But Dustin and I went to high school together, and we used to play basketball in PE. And spastic ball was basically, we would run and try to make the craziest shot ever in basketball, and usually end up hitting the rim or the backboard, or missing and hitting the stands. So it was very funny. So Kristen, making yourself look attractive to buyers and set yourself apart. Now I'm assuming you don't mean like how to do makeup, you know, with contouring and all that, because I don't know how to do that. So I'm assuming you mean like make what you're producing look attractive and set yourself apart. So I think there's several ways to do that. If you're not a graphic designer, and depending on what it is you're trying to make, there's a website called Canva, CANVA.com. Tell you what, no, I can't reply there. So Canva, CANVA.com, and it's a free website, and they already have pre-built templates where you just kind of pop in the information. You can put in pictures and all kinds of stuff. It's free. There's paid options, but there's a free version, which is what I use, and you don't need the paid option for the most part. So you can create great looking Facebook, Pinterest, Etsy. They have all kinds of pre-built templates, and it is phenomenal, and it's awesome. So I would start with that. So let's say you're going to make a awesome bird cage. My wife just happens to have one. So you're going to make an awesome bird cage. Take a picture of it. If you have like an iPhone or a new smartphone, that's really all you need to get a good picture, because the camera in those are, they're really good. So start with that, take a picture of it, then go to canva.com, find you a template you like, put that picture in there, and most of them already have the fonts picked out. So it's very, very simple, but very, very easy to do. So that's where I would start. And honestly, if I'm scrolling through Pinterest or anything and the graphics don't catch my eye, I'm not going to buy. I'm not even really going to click on it to see what's in there. So you want to make sure that that first image that people see catches their attention. So you want to make sure it's good quality, which Canva already has. So I would start there. I hope that helps, because that's the best advice I can give on that, is make sure you're using a tool that's easy to do. And it's web friendly, like it's got a website. They also have mobile apps. So if you have an iPad or Android tablet or smartphone, you can use it on the go, which is awesome. So I hope that gives you some more ideas. But if you need to make a, I'm sure you can YouTube for how to do all the contouring right. Eric asked, how do these websites work where you get sponsorship to make your CD album? I think what you're asking is like a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe. Give me clarification if it's not. But those type websites to where you say, hey, I'm wanting to do this. What's up, Matt? Where you say, I'm wanting to make an album. Sponsor me, join in, be a part. Basically, there's like Kickstarter.com, there's GoFundMe, there's another one I can't think of. Okay, so those type websites, what you do is you sign up on there, and then you're able to put your goal is typically what you're going to have this is what I'm wanting to do. And then most of the time they have benefits for people. So if someone backs your project at $20, you can give them like a free CD or a free digital download. But if they back you at $40 or $60, you can get like 2 copies of the CD and a t-shirt. There's different incentives for people to back your project, which is great. So that's typically how those are done. And Kickstarter is an all or nothing. So you either meet your goal of $10,000 or you get not a dime. GoFundMe and some of the other ones are partial. So like if you get $10,000, but you needed 20, you get $10,000. So that's why some people go for those. But the visibility of a Kickstarter is a little more. So people like to do that one because it's just a higher visibility market. Just like how Facebook is way more known than like any other social media site. So that's kind of how those are done. I know people have done them for lots of stuff. Someone did it one time to make some type of like salad. It was some weird thing. Potato salad. It was a potato salad. They set up a Kickstarter or GoFundMe to do potato salad and ended up getting like $10,000 because people are weird and like to give money away randomly to silly stuff. But Kickstarter and GoFundMe are great websites to help you accomplish your goal. And the good thing about those websites is the people that sign up to become one of your backers, one of your supporters, you get their email address for life. And email addresses are valuable. Now, I know most people don't really put much value on their email address, but email addresses are valuable, especially if you're doing some type of marketing, which if you're going to make an album, you want to be able to market it. So how much do they get commission? That's a very good question. I don't know right offhand, and it probably varies by site, and it probably varies on how you get paid. So if you do PayPal, there may be a certain level of fee, but if you do, use Stripe or Amazon Pay or Square Cash, I don't know what all they take, but you may get less or more depending on the fees. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get like maybe 5% or so, and that's just for their costs of hosting the Kickstarter or the backing thing for you. So that's something to check out. You can check out Kickstarter.com or like GoFundMe.com, I think it is. So, and they have plenty of information in their FAQs on that, but they're great tools. I know people that back them. Now, one thing about Kickstarter I know is if I choose to back your project, I say I'm going to back it for $20, but my card isn't charged until the sale ends and it's successful. So it's really no risk for the people that want to back you. So that's a very nice thing as well. So it's not like a lot of risk. And so I'm not like, oh no, if you don't make it, the $20 is just sitting there waiting. So that's another cool thing, but you just have to check their websites to see what their commission is. So, all right, man. I hope that helps, Eric. That's a good question. Matt Standridge asked me, what is a healthy paradigm for marketing a church, ministry, or spiritual events? Ooh, kind of goes back to Micah's question of how to not be salesy, but, So I think a good question when marketing a spiritual, religious type event or book or something is, do you believe in it? And if you believe in it, do you think it's going to change lives? And if you believe it's going to change lives, how bad do you want to get people there? So if you're having a all-night prayer and healing service, do you believe if people come that are sick, God will heal them? And if so, how bad do you want to get those people there? Is it enough to go knock on door to door? Is it enough to put an ad on the radio? Is it enough to do Facebook ads or Instagram ads about it? I think it really comes down to, do you believe in the thing you're promoting? Do you believe it has the ability to change people's lives? And so I'm trying to think of the best way to answer this, because I truly believe in Christian events that if people come, God can do what only God can do. So it's my responsibility to make sure people are aware and people have the notice to get there. So if I'm going to market a revival service at my local church, I'm going to make sure it's done early. I'm going to make sure I've got the right people involved. And then I think the best thing to do is don't oversell it. So you don't want to do an ad or a marketing event for a revival service that promises that Jesus himself in the flesh is going to show up on stage along with Elijah and Moses. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to like oversell it, but you just want to basically hit that healthy medium of, we're having these services and we truly believe that if you come, God can absolutely change your life. So if you come, we believe as a church, as a ministry, that God is going to do something awesome in your life. Here's the times and dates. You know, and I mean, don't let that be your exact wording, but I think that's probably the healthy thing, other than like lights and sounds. And Jesus is going to come and it's going to be amazing. He's going to show up and he's going to give gold dust to every single person. And while that may happen, people may leave covered in gold dust. You don't have to oversell it, because what if it doesn't happen? And then you've kind of let down those people. And so I think there needs to be a healthy balance of marketing for Christian events. So you don't want to be too salesy and overpromise, but you also don't want to be like, hey, here's the thing, come if you can, you know. So you want to be able to say, this is something we're doing because we believe if there's an opportunity for Jesus to meet you, he will, and it will change your life. So that's kind of what I would do. And I hope that helps, because that's really what I believe, is that you don't want to oversell, but you don't want to undersell either. So the happy medium of put your passion into it, you know, put your passion for what you believe can happen into that marketing for it. So that is my answer. Sarah Holbrook says, what strategies are best for marketing for a company, say a new employer, that you don't much about, gaining social media presence, helping bring in new clients, and so forth? So I think what you're asking is if you're doing marketing for a new business that you're starting to work for, how to do it. Is that what you're asking? What strategies are best for marketing for a company, like a new employer, that you don't know much about? So I think what you're asking is, if I'm doing, okay, so you're doing marketing for a new company that you're just coming on new on staff with. I would sit down with the highest ranking manager, CEO, somebody there who's been there with the company for a while, and ask them questions. What do we do? What is our goal? What is our vision? Why do we exist? Those questions are going to give you a lot of clarity if you're the one doing the marketing. If you're the one posting to social media, You need to know those questions. You need to know the why of the company. And if someone can't answer that, find someone else. Find someone that can answer, why did our company get started? And if their answer is, we wanted to make money, there's got to be another why. Because most companies that get started just to make money don't last very long. So you want to know why the company started, what's the vision, and who's the audience? Who are we trying to reach? Because if you're posting on social media, you've got to know who you're talking to. Like I said earlier, I'm just talking to this little green light, but I know I'm talking to the people that are watching. So that's where I would start. Start the process is finding out why, who, what, why the company exists, who the company's reaching, what the company does. Those are the three main questions I would need to find out to do an effective job at social media. Because once you know that, what to post, when to post, how to post, all that, it just kind of comes out because you know the core of the company you're working for. So that's where I would start. So Dad, Robert Shirley asked again, what about blogging where you started as a book? What about blogging what you started as a book to test the waters for marketing the book and protecting the material as copyrighted? What about blogging what you started as a book? Oh, I got you. So you're wanting to start blogging, but it's basically going to be the ideas that may come together in a book later. And how do you protect that copyright material? So I know several authors, I probably have books on my bookshelf, that started out as blogs. And then over time, they kind of fleshed out the ideas bigger, filled in some of the gaps, and put that out as a book. So it's very easy to do. That's what a lot of people do, just to kind of see if there's a market for that topic as a way to kind of test the waters. So what you want to do is write. You want to put out the best content you can. You want to make sure your ideas are as well thought out as possible. You want to make sure that you're filling in any of the gaps that you can. And technically, your material is already copyrighted when you post it. You can do more if you wanted to, but you can always go back and say, this blog, this piece of content was posted on X date at X time. And so it kind of gives you that copyright, that kind of layman's type copyright. And I have heard of cases going to court that they're able to use a blog posted date as proof of copyright. So the thing with blogging in general is you want to make sure that you put out the best content you can from where you are. And doing that will test the waters. So if I'm wanting to write a book on clarity, the best thing I can do is start putting out content around the idea of clarity. And as I'm doing that, people are liking, people are sharing, people are recommending, that's going to give you the some of the information you need to know if a book would work. And honestly, if you think you might want to work with a publisher, one of the number one things they're going to ask is how many people follow your Facebook page? How many people are you friends with on Instagram and Twitter? They want to know your social presence. How many hits do you get on your blog per month? How many new visitors do you have? What size email list do you have? Those are the types of questions that most publishers are asking nowadays, more so than, do you know what the Oxford comma is? Do you know a run-on sentence from a non-run-on sentence? It's like the social, because they want to publish a book for someone that already has a following. So that's why you want to make sure that the content you put out is the best you can. And then let that grow. So I hope that kind of answers that question. These are some good questions, guys. I really appreciate all of the questions. If you have more, you can comment and I will reply here, or I will save them for another Facebook Live where we can do this again. But I don't want to keep everybody here too long. So I just want to remind everyone, you can comment here, but typically you're going to Facebook message me. You're going to visit bobbyshirley.com/advice, fill out the contact form there for an email. You can leave me a voicemail, 256-978-9757. if you're interested, I do have the 3 steps to gaining clarity to kind of help you figure out what it is you want to do with your life, where you are, where you want to go, and then figure out how to get there. And that's 3 steps to gaining clarity. And that's at my website, bobbyshirley.com/3 steps, THREESTEPS. And I'll put links to all that in the comments so that you can check them out. I appreciate all the questions. This was a lot of fun. I hope you had fun with me. And everyone have a great night and an even better weekend. Talk to you later.